Welcome, everybody, to episode number 80 of the Dragon's Den podcast. We are live on the air on YouTube, on Rumble, on X, and Facebook. We'll get into a little bit more of that in just a second. But I'm joined tonight by Brandon, Mr. Smoothie on the top right, and of course, Miranda Nicole on the bottom as well. We might only have a three-man crew tonight, but that's okay. We can hold down the fort together, I think. I'm all down for that, too. But we might see Damon. We might see Aaron. Probably not going to see any Matt tonight for a while, but that's okay. He's kind of dealing with some personal things in his life at the moment, so that's fine. Hopefully, he'll be back soon. But anyhow, don't want to get into his business here on Layer Live. But anyway, hope you guys are doing good. How are you guys doing? I haven't talked to you guys probably about a week or so, I guess, all things considered. But got a little bit of housekeeping when it comes to the podcast. I thought I'd get into, I guess, just get it out of the way real quick, just to let you guys know. We're going to be changing the format a little bit here on the show moving forward. And part of that is mostly due because of certain analytics and things like that when it comes to the show. I've been kind of going over a little bit, which I expressed to the crew as well. But also the bigger issue is we've kind of been having a little bit of an internal discussion about what it could mean for like censorship and being able to say certain things we want to say on the platforms that we stream to and things like that. And for those of you who've been following the news and stuff over the last few years, YouTube and Facebook in particular have been known to censor, shadow ban, completely delete accounts if you were to potentially say certain things that they don't particularly agree with or doesn't fit the overarching narrative, as it were, whether they deem it misinformation, even though it's actually not, or whatever it might be. We here on the channel don't really want to be censored and told what we can and cannot say and express our opinions. I think all of us here on the channel want to be able to say what we want and fully express our freedom of speech, right? Yeah. So what we're planning on doing going forward is we're going to continue to stream everything on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. And I know Miranda's maybe kind of dabbled into Instagram a little bit or whatnot, but we'll see if we can.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, for the time being, everything that you see from the pro wrestling segments to movies to gaming and sports, all the fun stuff that we tend to kind of discuss here on the channel at the first half of the shows every single week will continue to be on every single streaming service moving forward, at least for now. It's always subject to change, right? But for now, that is the plan. However, about midway through the show, probably around 11:30 every week. It might be give or take just a bit, just depending on how things go. But I'm hoping to by 11:30 every week, because we can't get through all the other stuff in 2 hours. We got a problem. But around 11:30 every week, we want to then jump over to Rumble and X exclusively, because Rumble and X do allow you to have more freedom of expression, a lot less restrictions when it comes to their platforms. So unfortunately, we do live in a world where we have to adhere to the rules of all these platforms we are being allowed to stream our show on. But we're hoping that by going with Rumble and X exclusively for our news and politics segment, and we may discuss other things besides just news and politics on that segment as well, but we want to have the freedom to do so. So moving forward, that particular segment and the end of the show will then be on Rumble and X exclusive. Now, if you're watching us on Rumble or X, the show's not going to change. You're just going to see a brief, about 3-minute intermission, and then you will jump into the news and politics segment. If you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, though, the stream will then end about halfway through the show before we get to news and politics. So just so you're aware, that is the structure we're doing moving forward. But if you want to watch the entire show in its entirety without interruptions, follow us on Rumble or on our X accounts. You can, I know Miranda and I share Miranda's stream on our X account. So you can follow us on Miranda's stream on X or mine at the bottom of the screen. They're both in the description box below. And if you want to follow us on Rumble and follow our page, that is also in the description box. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching it on Facebook, it's all there. You should be able to find the information. Rumble's free. It's not, we're not putting anything behind a paywall or anything like that. Rumble's absolutely free. It's just like YouTube.
And there's a lot of good content on Rumble.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And just to be so everyone's aware, this is not due to any sort of like viewership issues. We're not losing viewerships or anything like that. In a way, we're hoping this will actually kind of help build the channel a little bit, because YouTube can be more short form in a lot of respects. Rumble sometimes has more long form shows. So I'm hoping that maybe just from an analytics standpoint, by cutting the show in half on YouTube and having everything but the news and politics, the show numbers on YouTube may actually go up, because our shows are going to be like around 2 hours instead of maybe 3 or 4. Rumble, it's more acclimated for that. Most people won't go to Rumble to watch things more in their long form I guess you could say just the format, as it were. So that's kind of the hope that we got here. But just if you're wondering why you're not seeing the news and politics and the show cuts off middle with you'll get a little bit of a countdown going into our next segment, and that's probably where I'll cut the feed for the YouTube and Facebook. So just so you guys are aware. But anyway, that's kind of the housekeeping sort of this thing? Are you guys encouraged? I know Miranda's been really kind of hoping to go like Rumble only on at least some things, if not everything at some point, which we may do one day, but that's
Well, no, I mean, we don't ever have to go Rumble exclusive. I followed Rumble for a long time, and Chris, the owner, whatever, he just seems like a really down to earth guy, and he's always in Badlands streams. They just recently started crypto wallets.
Now, is Chris the owner of Rumble?
I believe so, yes. Yeah. If not, he is like the top dog.
Okay.
They're just great. They've always been in it for the free speech, and yeah.
And that's another thing too. We've not been so far on our channel. We've gotten like minor copyright claims, like we show movie trailers or something like that. We've not gotten any like serious trouble on YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. We're not having any issues like that. Just so you guys are full transparency. It's more of a preventative measure maybe for us in the future, because let's be honest, news and politics, much like religion, or the old cliche is don't talk about religion and politics when you go to the dinner table, right? It's one of those things. It's kind of like we just want to prevent that from happening in the future. So we're kind of just like, if we go to Rumble and X, we're especially now that Elon Musk owns X, it's not nearly as restrictive. And Rumble has always been good about that sort of thing. So it's just, some of the stuff in the past with YouTube and Facebook are a little shady. We just don't want to get to a position to where we could get in trouble with some of these censors and the overlords, as it were, on these platforms. So that's just kind of our mentality of it. If you don't like it, I apologize. But I think we're at a good point in the channel too, where we're still kind of growing. We've not got like a large fan base. So this is not going to be like a huge shift for the audience either. I mean, it's really not that difficult to go find a Rumble app as well. And if you don't know what Rumble is, it's basically like YouTube. It's free. The only thing is, if it's like YouTube as well. If you don't want the ads, you can pay for their premium service. But it's basically the same thing. So there's really should be no issue if you want to watch the more, I guess you could say, divisive or controversial or sensitive topics and content that we cover during the news and politics segment.
A lot of health topics and natural healing.
We're actually going to talk about a couple of those tonight on the Rumble stream when it goes exclusive to that as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things. You could Rumble is also on smart televisions. You can find the app on Roku. It's available, all over the place. So it's not like we're restricting the show at all. So if you want to go see the entire segment with the politics and news, and like I said, we may get into other stuff besides just that. We're calling the segment Dragon's Den After Dark, by the way. I just something I kind of thought would be kind of cool, because I know Aaron has kind of joked about, hey, we got to save that for Dragon's Den After Dark. We can really get into it. So I just thought it might kind of, be a good little natural transition to kind of call it that. So that's what we're calling it. So from now on, all that stuff will be on Rumble and X exclusive if you guys are looking forward to that. Hey, look who we do got here. Apparently Matt's going to join us a little bit after all.
Hi, Matt.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Hi, guys.
I didn't tell anybody about what's been going on. If you want to share, you can. If not, we'll move on. So
that's okay. I'll fill everybody in. On Wednesday afternoon, my wife got out of the bathtub and she tore her deltoid ligament, and she fell. She broke her ankle, and she broke her fibula in 2 places.
Oof, dang.
Altogether, it is a complete break.
Oh.
She has been on this.
Well, you don't have to. Oh, okay. I was gonna say you don't have to show her on camera.
Yeah, let's say.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not feeling like being on camera or anything, but yeah.
I feel so bad, dude. Like, that's rough.
That's
yeah. And let me tell you, she's in good spirits right now. I'm letting her kind of sleep. She's in her sleeping.
Good
but prayers are appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely. How are you holding up, by the way? You sound like it's obviously taking its toll on you a little bit.
Yeah,
Eric, it's been a long 2 days.
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
I've probably gotten 4 hours of sleep
Mm-hmm.
within those 2 days.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, you don't have to be on the show tonight if you don't want to be. But I'm happy to see you if you wanted to, obviously. But we at least appreciate you dropping by.
I just wanted to share with everybody that she's okay. We're doing okay, and
that's good.
I'm gonna try to be back at work Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, I won't be back till Tuesday anyway, so we'll see you then. But
Monday we have to go to the orthopedics doctor. and the orthopedics doctor is going to tell us whether or not we need surgery or not.
Well, hopefully, good outcomes regardless.
Yeah.
That is just how I stand.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't do the praying thing much, but I will pray for you, man. That is rough, buddy. I'm sorry for both of you. That's shitty.
Well, and again, if you don't want to talk about it too much, that's perfectly fine. Just say so. But I was just the other day, I was sitting there thinking, you don't normally hear about someone when they fall in a tub breaking their ankle or their foot. It's usually like, you know, their arm or a hip or something when you're trying to brace your fall. So I didn't know if, like, I don't know if you can...
Eric, she fell forward.
Oh, okay.
And when she did that, she tore her ligament. And when I did that, I kept trying to get her to get up to get to the car.
Yeah.
And in the process of doing that, she just looked at me and said, I cannot get up. I cannot get up. And at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to get somebody here that can get her up. So that's eventually when I called the first responders. And they could do what they needed to do.
I was gonna say, if there's anybody, they'd be the best ones to do it because they know how to manage the injury.
And let me tell you something, Eric and Miranda, you guys be proud of her. She's taking it like a trooper. She really
I
has.
believe it fully just from knowing her. You know,
when I first saw what happened, I thought she tore her ACL.
Well, and the way you describe it, if she's leaning forward and she kind of braced her, I can maybe even see that being a possibility. I mean, I get it. Yeah.
When she gets better, I'll have pictures for you guys.
She's taking it better than me.
I signed her cast. I was the first one to sign her cast.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, as the husband, you get first dibs.
So I got to sign her cast.
Yeah.
But she's in good spirits, but I just want you guys to pray for her.
Oh, absolutely.
Better
Definitely.
Also, Matt, I want you to tell Sierra she's better than me because I'd be a giant.
We were in the emergency room all day Thursday.
Oh,
I believe it.
And what was happening was I was waiting for a wheelchair for her, and they would not give it to her. And at that point, I was like, "These pain meds are going to wear off, and she's going to be hating life in the emergency room."
Well, what they expect? I mean, you would think they at least give her crutches or something.
Like something. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, the problem was the emergency room is full,
obviously,
of people. And
they
are all COVID people, and they are all
still
bringing that crap in the emergency room. So I'm just trying to stay away from everybody. I come in there. This woman in the front, these police officers were there. This woman in the front was losing her religion in front of everybody. And these two policemen were just coming up like, I don't get paid enough to deal with this shit. And I'm just sitting here back in the back of the emergency room with Sierra with a broken leg, watching all this transpire in front of me. And I'm just watching these guys, and I'm like, you know what? I said, I looked at the nurse, and I said, I just want you to give us a fucking wheelchair so I can get her out of this situation, so I can get home to take care of her the way I can.
Wow. We got Mike in the chat. He said, my apologies. I had stepped away before Matt said what happened, but I got the gist. Hope all gets better, my friend. Yeah. His lovely wife.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate for the prayers, and thank you for the thoughts. I appreciate it.
Matt, did you guys go to the new hospital or the old hospital?
I'm sorry, Miranda. I can hardly hear you.
Which hospital did you go to? Old hospital or the new one?
The bus took her to the new one.
Okay.
You'll say that I know the old one. It's not even. I know that. Well, there's
No,
like
I
a
don't mean-
hospital out the town.
She spent the night at the emergency room on Thursday.
Yeah. I just don't know what hospital. But anyway, yeah, he's.
No, I'm talking Monroe County. That would be the old hospital.
I wanted her to go to Monroe originally, but it's okay.
I've had a bad
But
experience.
I thought because if she tore her ACL, she would be better equipped to go to the bigger one. Just in case.
That's the thing. If they weren't equipped, they just shipped her over there anyway. That's probably what if it really was.
She's got a lot of strength going on her. Let me tell you something. That cast, it is every bit of 50 pounds.
I believe it.
And I'm talking every bit of it. And it takes every bit of her strength to move it. And
Fucking bet. And like,
I tell you what,
don't
she's done it like a
bend your
trooper. I'm
legs
very
on it,
proud
do
of her.
anything. Like, that's
Yep.
shitty, dude. Like, I feel for you. I really do. And
Because
her.
let me tell you something. If I broke my leg in 3 places, I would be. I'd be milking, my brother.
I was
You'd
gonna
be
say,
hearing
I'd
me
be
moan for
milking it.
days.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd be like, yeah, give me all the video games.
In effect, she's
Yeah,
just
you know,
just sitting
I'd be
there,
like,
sitting
Miranda,
there
we gotta
chilling with
move.
it. I'm like, okay.
I gotta move either the bed closer to the computer or the computer closer to the bed because I'm not getting up. You feel me? Like I am. Oh, I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to bell so I can ring it so somebody can come answer me. I'll be damn.
But yeah, I plan to try to come back to work on either Tuesday or Monday.
they're not
We'll
giving you
see
a show,
how
though,
it
are they?
goes. Because at this point, I don't feel comfortable enough with her being by herself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sierra, if you happen to listen to the replay of this, make Matt wait on you hand and foot.
Hand and
The next
fucking
couple
foot.
days.
Miranda, no.
Oh.
No.
You just heard what he said he would
yeah,
do.
I'm already doing it, so it doesn't matter anyway.
I know you are, buddy.
We gotta have fun with him, man. That's for sure. But yeah. So
She's got lots of ice cream. She's got lots of Go-Gurt, and
Hell
she's
yeah.
just taking it like a champ.
Mm.
But I think it's the initial shock of what has happened.
yeah,
that
yeah.
it just blows you back.
Well, it's-
Because
Well, no,
I'm just
you then
sitting there
get to
making
the point where
spaghetti
you're just like
like my
"Why
normal
me?"
self,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
just it's all
It's-
happened, and I'm like, okay,
that sucks, dude. Well, like I said,
I got to be a mature adult.
and we know that's not easy for any of us.
Yeah.
For
No.
sure.
Yeah.
At least
No,
me
it's
anyway.
not easy
For
for
sure.
me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, I'm
Good.
gonna let you guys have your show. I just want to
Right
pop on here and inform everybody what is going on and what has transpired, and
Well, we appreciate
I'm
it. man.
okay. And thoughts and prayers are appreciated.
All right.
All right,
we,
brother.
we wish her well. We wish you well, and hopefully you'll be
Yep.
able to come back to the show as soon as possible, buddy. So
Yep.
just let us know. So take it
Let me
easy,
know if
man.
you need anything, bud.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
But next week I'll probably get back onto the show like normal and
Okay.
just
All
kind
right,
of
well.
take care of her. For right
Yeah.
now, I just like to be near her and
Hey,
be able
I
to.
feel you,
Do
buddy.
that husbandly thing, man. That's what you got to do. So
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all right,
yeah.
man. We'll talk
All right,
at
brother.
you.
I
Maybe
also
I'll see
want
you
to
next week. So.
want to point out that the Royal Rumble was wild. Yeah. I let me tell you something. We did the squares as a group. I don't know if you've already gone through this or not, Eric, or not.
No, not yet. No,
But
it's fun.
I'm not going to spoil anything. But I had Roman Reigns, or I didn't have Roman Reigns. I had Gunther,
Yeah,
and
Gunther.
Damon had Roman Reigns, and I sat there watching that, and I go, I am so screwed. Because I knew Roman was going to win this match.
It did
And I'm
help
watching this, and I'm like, I'm so screwed in this match.
It did help. It did help that Damon also had Liv Morgan for the women's rumble. He won both of them.
Oh yeah,
No,
he had all that momentum going for
Yeah.
him. So
He had both.
Good.
So David got himself a cool $70+ So
all right,
good
Yeah.
on
I'm
him.
gonna let you enjoy your show. And I just wanted to inform you guys what's going on. So
All right, man. Take it
All right,
easy.
brother.
We'll
Bye,
see you
guys.
next week, dude. Later.
Bye, Matt.
Right on. Yeah. David got himself. He thought I was kidding that it was going to be for. I made up these like. Everybody's played like these blank squares when you like have the Super Bowl or whatever, guess the score or whatever. So in our case, I did 30 squares between a few of us here on the show, and if you pick the right square correlating to the number entered for the Royal Rumbles, you would win $39 in honor of the 39th annual Royal Rumbles, right? So Damon picks the number. Everybody in the group picks some numbers, and David got the winners for both men and women. So he got cool $78.
And it was random. It was completely
random.
random.
Yeah.
Completely
You chose
random.
Good for him, though.
Yeah, so I was happy for him. He was shocked. He's like, really? I was like, yeah. He's like, dude, you have no idea this is going to help. I'm like, dude, anything I can do to help, man. It's just, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do something different. So, which reminds me, I still got to get our bingos ready for.
Well, yeah,
Sunday.
but you know
I'll get it
what?
done.
I don't think we're gonna have everybody here.
Oh,
because,
okay.
Like,
Yeah.
We can still do it
There's-
for you.
yeah, we'll do it,
Another-
but prizes and all that.
We can just do it for
play
fun.
for fun. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Well, I'll make up some. If hopefully we'll have enough. I don't think we'll have to have like a great deal amount of people. So I'll just kind of guesstimate. We'll go from there. So I might even do it digitally if that's cool with you. That way I may just like send you one. You can like edit it, like mark it out or something. That might be a little cheaper instead of printing stuff out. So we may do it that way. So well, Mike, sorry I didn't see it till after he'd already left. Mike asked who Matt thought he was going to win in the Super Bowl. I believe he's hoping for New England because he wins $50 if they win. So that's what he wants. Whether or not he thinks they're actually going to win.
I forgot about
that. No, look, let's cut the crap with this. All right, let's cut the shit. Matt is a Patriots fan before anything else. Like, let's be real. Like, he hides behind this whole, I know I'm a Colts guy. He's not. He's fucking not. He's always been a Patriots fan, and he slides to other teams. But the Patriots come first. So if you're asking who he wants to win, it's the Patriots.
Well, it's either him or our buddy Chris is going to win the cool 50 on Sunday.
Oh, so those two? God damn.
Yeah.
Chris has been in it almost every year. Like,
shoot, he was even in it for he won the title, beating me a couple years ago at your house. Yeah, I know. That was the most painful experience ever.
Hilarious.
Because I was like so close to making a comeback, and I just fell just a little short. It sucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the breaks, man. So, hey, it's all right. I got my title this year, so I'm happy with it.
All right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
We'll move on from that. I don't want to. But anyway, all right. Well, Matt mentioned the Royal Rumble, so you want to get into the pro wrestling stuff and get the show moving a little bit here?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's see what all we got. Let's get into it. All right, so as Matt mentioned, here we got a pretty big weekend in the world of WWE, especially as they are now officially on the road to WrestleMania 42. And of course, the Royal Rumble was last Saturday, and that means, as we mentioned, Liv Morgan won the women's Royal Rumble match in a pretty cool sequence at the very end of the match between three of the ladies there. Sol Ruka, and I can't remember who the other one was.
It was Sol Ruka. Oh crap!
I have to think of it just now.
Yeah, I can picture them all in my head.
Hold on, Sol Ruka,
Rhea Ripley, and
what her? I just had it right here. It's right on the thing. Sol Ruka and Tiffany Stratton was the final.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah,
that's what it was. So my bad. I had to actually look it up there. But anywho, so anyway, so Liv Morgan was that she's going to get a title opportunity at WrestleMania. We don't know if she's going to be challenging Jade Cargill, who's the current WWE champion, or the women over there on SmackDown, or if it's going to be Stephanie McClure, who actually defended her women's world championship against Raquel Rodriguez on Monday Night Raw and retained her title after Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez tried to interfere on behalf of Raquel and inadvertently cost Raquel the title match. So I'm sure Raquel Rodriguez is not going to take too kindly to that from Liv Morgan, but we'll see how that ends up playing into things. Maybe Raquel could get another title shot at Elimination Chamber. I still got to wonder if Raquel versus Liv would be a better WrestleMania match, but if it is Liv Morgan and Stephanie McClure, perfectly fine with that too. So thoughts on Liv Morgan winning the Rumble?
I'm glad she won, and we kind of knew she was going to win. Like,
she should.
Again, her run was getting started, and it was going to be fantastic. You think about the players that were in there. I mean, the story between her, Dom, and Rhea was still going on. And then she got hurt, which sucks. Like it does. So
it derailed a lot.
Yeah, and the implosion of the Judgment Day was kind of wrapped up behind that too, with her title reign and shit. So like now we're starting to get that at the same time. I still wanted Roxanne Perez to be the champ by the time Liv got back, because I figured it made more sense. Yeah, and that way you could see her really be what she was when she manipulated her way into the Judgment Day. But now she's manipulating to bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just been interesting to see Liv do that. And then to have that match at WrestleMania for the title where she would win it. But
we still could get something to that effect. We've still got a couple months before we get there. But I mean, I don't know. I like Stephanie McClure as well.
But I like McClure too, though. So I can't really, I'm not mad at it. So
I don't see Liv challenging Jade Cargill. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. I kind of wonder if like a Bianca Belair could be a thing if they ever got her back, but that we thought maybe that would happen in the Women's Rumble. Didn't. We'll have to wait and see if that ends up being a thing or not. But and Naomi, I don't think she'll be ready after her pregnancy just yet, would she? I mean, it'd be awfully close. It'd be really close.
It'd be super close because Naomi's been going for.
It's been almost a year, I think, around in there.
Because last video I seen, me and Miranda seen a video of her and Jimmy together. Yeah, and she was putting faces on her belly, and she was pretty big, dude.
pregnant, huh? I got you. So
yeah,
and there's usually a recovery period in there, obviously. So I'll have to wait and see if that ends up being a thing. But yeah, I'll be down to see what they do. I'll tell you right now, we're going to go over some potential matches for WrestleMania, and if they do some of these matches, I'm down for it. It'll be a lot better than last year based on the matches that they got maybe going.
Sorry, wasn't Naomi on Raw though?
She was, and so who knows how that could work? But just be speculating. But I don't know, because they don't switch shows or anything all the time. But anyway, we'll see how it goes.
But if she does come back, she's gonna be a huge baby face, and if you
even though she left as a heel, we'll love her as a bad guy or a bad girl, I guess you could say. So either way, proceed with caution. Sure. And I got to say this too. They're starting to release more of the WWE 2K26 stuff and some of the videos and stuff coming out. They nailed Naomi in that entrance.
Really,
she looks completely. I mean, they model everything. It just looks great. So my expectations went up. I'll have to see some videos. Yeah, some good stuff. One thing that did happen on Royal Rumble, obviously, was Gunther versus AJ Styles. If AJ Styles loses, he has to retire. And AJ Styles did, in fact, lose. He, unlike when John Cena lost at Saturday Night's Main Event at the end of the year last year, AJ Styles didn't tap out to Gunther. He passed out to the Gunther, which is what maybe they should have done with John Cena. But it was Cena's call, I'm sure, to make that tap out because he hasn't done it in 20 years or something like that. So in this case, it was more AJ Styles passing out, but that means that AJ Styles' WWE career ends at exactly 10 years, Royal Rumble to Royal Rumble. This is kind of a shame, but however, at the end of the match, it's usually customary for wrestlers to leave their boots or their gloves or something in the ring when they retire. AJ Styles, though, teased like he was going to do just that with his gloves, but then midway down toward landed on the mat, he puts the gloves back on, picks them up, and then, leaves as it were. So the question now being, is AJ Styles actually retired or not? I tend to think that, especially after he did an interview, I think with Stephanie McMahon on her podcast this week, I think his days as wrestling may in fact be done based on his interview with her. But there is that possibility with him putting those gloves back on that he could still wrestle somewhere. There may be some storyline they're doing with WWE, and TNA and AEW is still on the table, I guess. But after he told Stephanie McMahon that he feels like this is it, do you think this is actually it? And if that's the case, why did he put the gloves back on? What are your thoughts on all of this? It's hard to tell.
I still feel like if he's going to retire, and I know what he said on Stephanie's show, I think that it's going to be in TNA. You know what I mean? Like, that's where the Phenomenal One was born. That's, again, him and Joe carried that whole show, even with Kurt Angle and all those guys being there. The cornerstones of TNA were AJ Styles and Samoa Joe. And but AJ was there before Joe. And you had great guys that came out of TNA. Christopher Daniels, Kazarian, but you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I think if AJ isn't done, I think like I said last time, I think he goes on a tour where he goes to AEW, gets his dream matches out of there, gets another match with Omega, gets one with Strick, name them. He could have a match with these guys.
Okada, Kazuchika, freaking and MJF, whatever.
And then ends it all in TNA. But he also said too, if given the opportunity, his son becomes a wrestler and wants to have a match with him, he goes, why wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Unretire and come back. I don't know. I don't know how old his oldest son is, but he made it seem like he was training to wrestle the kid. So,
but with that there, it could be a thing where AJ put the gloves back on. Maybe he doesn't want to wrestle full time anywhere, but the occasional match, for that special reason, a part-time thing, like Daniel Bryan did a little bit toward the end of his career. So you could do that sort of thing like that as well. Or it could be just simply like what Mike said in the chat. Maybe his hands were cold. I mean, that's very possible. I mean, maybe he just did. I mean, they were outside in Saudi because it gets very cold in those desert areas. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah. He also said that AJ Styles versus Jerry Lynn versus Loki was the start of the X Division when TNA debuted in 2002. Yeah, and some of that stuff they did back in those early days of TNA. Some of the greatest stuff you'll see in the X Division, the 6-sided rings. Would love to see them, get back to 6-sided, but I think by now it's probably not going to happen again. But the X Division is still great, and he was part of the reason why it is as successful as it is. So yeah, I mean, if this is the final go around for AJ Styles, glad he had the career run that he had. It's a couple decades, close to 30 years or more, I think, at this point. So yeah, I mean, very well deserved retirement. So go live your life, man, if that's the case. But we'd still love to see you do some of these big matches if you can, because he can still go, unlike some of these guys who're getting up there in age. So it's a good thing to see. We'll see what happens. Bigger thing that happened on the show as well. We got Drew McIntyre retaining the WWE Championship versus Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is now 0-12 against Drew McIntyre and has now lost his first match in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Again, they keep talking about Sami Zayn eventually winning the big one. I still think he will. And as of right now, my best guess is Riyadh, Saudi Arabia is hosting WrestleMania 43 next year. That may be where Sami Zayn gets his big win. And you build it and build it and build it and build it. And I think that's where you do it. If that's kind of what I would do. But for this case, I think it is the right call to leave it on Drew McIntyre based on where we're going to this year's WrestleMania. So thoughts on Sami Zayn losing, but it seems like the right call. It really is. But
yeah, I mean, again, when Sami wins the title, it'll be a huge thing. It'll be huge.
Yeah, Mike and I are on the same page.
Yeah, Sami's been a huge, and I mean a huge boon to WWE, like since he showed up in NXT. So like he's one of those, I don't know, characters or personas that like he's the ultimate underdog. He truly is, like, and he plays that role so well that when he does win, it'll be a major thing. And like I think you're right there. If they go back to Riyadh, but who's he take it off of at that point?
That's a good question. It just depends on who's got it. I mean, coming out of WrestleMania this year with that particular title, it would either go for this or the world title probably. But yeah, it's a good question who it would be on a year from now based on where we're heading currently, which we can talk about in just a second when we go over the potential lineup here for WrestleMania. But before we do that, some things that did or did not happen at the Royal Rumble. A lot of people was expecting Chris Jericho to be one of the major surprises, returning to WWE after being with AEW for so long. He did in fact not return at WrestleMania, or I'm sorry, at Royal Rumble this weekend in the Royal Rumble match. In fact, as of today, he is still listed on the AEW roster page. So as of right now, and I believe he even had an interview when he was out touring with Fozzy this last week or so, saying, yeah, as of right now, I'm still with AEW and all this sort of stuff. He didn't say anything about going back or any ill will or anything like that. So it's still a possibility down the line. But as of right now, Chris Jericho is still with AEW. And this is just one of those situations fans got all mad, chanting at Hunter after the show was over. We want Jericho, or we want Vince back because of your booking. This is one of those situations where fans let their expectations get out of control. WWE never once gave any indication. Any indication that Jericho was. No, nothing. Now, we speculated it here on the channel as well, and a lot of times we're pointing to that, which is why the internet thought that. However, we also realized that they gave us no indication of that. So if you're mad about this, that's on you, in my opinion. So it's like, I mean, we'd all like to maybe see him have that one last run and get that Hall of Fame ring, and I'm sure he will at some point too. But it may just not be quite yet. He's touring with Fozzy for like the next couple months, I think. So I don't think he's going to be available for anything anytime soon. So who knows? Maybe WrestleMania or a little after. Maybe he'll come back then. But until then, we'll have to wait and see. But it all depends on that AEW contract, which may or may not be completely done at this point. We'll have to wait and see. Tony Khan plays a little coy on it too. And Mike said, I believe Jericho will be back with WWE when he actually shows up on WWE television. Yeah, it's a pretty good call. I'd say that's probably about.
I think that's how you know.
That's how you'll know. Until then, it's all speculation. Sometimes them dirt sheets are not always right. You know what I'm saying? But who did return at the Royal Rumble was none other than Brie Bella, the other half of the Bella twins with Nikki Bella. And of course, that she come out with all the yes chants and stuff as she was running down to the ring in the women's Royal Rumble match. That, of course, led to, I know, one Bully Ray saying, well, when she's if she's there, Bryan Danielson isn't far behind, which a lot of people are like, well, that's a bit of a different circumstance because Danielson's got a bit of a neck injury and all this sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This is just another final run, I think, for the Bellas too. And I think this is going to probably set up a women's world tag team championship match against either Rhea Ripley and Io Sky or something at WrestleMania. That's what I think where this is going. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we're John Cena's kind of started this thing or this little trend now, I guess, in WWE where it's like, hey, let's go back for a farewell tour. Or maybe it's WWE going, hey, if you guys feel like you got one more run in you, come get it out of the way because we're making room for all these younger guys and they're kind of closing chapters in certain people's lives, I guess. But
and you could even argue, WWE, I get you, but you could even argue Sting kind of started that some at AEW. So I mean, it's definitely been a thing over the last few years. These people getting their one last final run with their career. So this could be one of those situations too. And I think Brie and Nikki will have a lot of fun together there on the show. So I look forward to it. And Mike said the crowd actually woke up when Brie arrived too. Yeah, it seemed like that crowd was kind of quiet throughout some of the show.
It was weird.
Well, and with these lights on the seats of the headrests are up above near their head, it made it look like with the lights were on, like the show was empty. They turned the lights off. It kind of looked empty at times too, but I think toward the end of the show, it looked like it was more packed. So I don't know if it was kind of like an optical illusion, but it had a lot of people going, maybe WWE should rethink WrestleMania there next year, but it could be in a different arena and that sort of thing. And I heard scalpers were trying to like resell tickets and maybe they did get them all resold and stuff like that. So probably it depends on what happened there, but yeah, it was kind of wonky. For sure. And Mike said, by the way, don't bury the lead from the Royal Rumble. How about that stadium? Look with all the seats. Exactly. I got there just a little bit later than you did, but yeah, for sure. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it just depends on how you look at it. There were some video going around for people who were actually there. Looked like it was more crowded than what it did on television. So I don't know. It just kind of depends on how you view it. But yeah, it definitely looked and sounded a little emptier than normal. That's for sure. So and it's outside too. Maybe the noise escaped. You know how that sort of things can be with stadiums. I don't know. But I don't know. Overall, I thought the show was pretty entertaining, though. This me personally. Now, we also did get a return of one El Grande Americano, even though this one said it's the original El Grande Americano, but the original
Brandon, we told you he's real. Okay.
Well, no, but here's the thing, though. If he's the original Americano, who's this dude that's been in the ring the last year or so? Plus, the original Americano did not have a beard, but this guy has a beard. I don't know what's going on right now. All I know is I'm starting to get a little sick and tired of seeing these Grande Americanos and all this sort of stuff. I want to know where Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate is. I want to know where Ludwig Kaiser is. And will we ever see Chad Gable again? Like, what is happening? Like, I'm trying to understand it. I really don't get it. So
it's like Biden. So weird. Really wasn't Biden.
Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, like Mike said, I can't wait for the return of Chad Gable. Like,
man, I know.
Are we ever?
Pop.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a huge pop.
I'll tell you right now. But I'm looking forward to this feud because I think if there's an imposter going on, we need to know which one the imposter is, and they need to tell us because I can't tell the difference.
Me either.
If you could let me know, I'd greatly appreciate it because
if it wasn't for the fact that they were wearing different colored gear, I wouldn't know who's who. You know what I mean?
All I know is that shorter version of El Grande Americano that come out that had the original on the banner, he's swole. So
he was swole. He was swole.
So that all this rumor about it being Chad Gable. Come on,
weird.
Chad don't look like that. Okay, Chad don't have a beard.
Yeah, Chad ain't swole.
Like for real. Like
Chad don't even bench, bro. You know,
but anyway, I do expect.
Would it be rude if I muted you guys?
Fair enough. Yeah, like Mike said, though, it's like the two Sin Caras all over again. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we still don't know who was who there. It's like what park? There's like what 3 of those?
No, there's more.
They're multiplying like roaches.
Yeah.
Like
there's
seriously.
the Parkers all over the place, man.
But in all seriousness, though, I do expect this to end up with an El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano at WrestleMania. Mask.
Oh
match.
My God, yes.
I do believe it'll be a mask
for mask.
I would
love that.
Loser loses a mask. Yeah, that's what I think.
We haven't seen something like that in forever, and you can do it with these guys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because they don't have the same restriction as real luchadors do. You know what I mean? When it comes to the mask, and you're not breaking any tradition or anything like that. But that is awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
can't
I
wait
know
for that to
I know a
happen.
lot of people don't like this gimmick, but I kind of enjoy it. Clearly, if you could.
Here's the thing.
But anyway,
I may
so,
not like some people may not like the gimmick, but I like
Mhm.
the wrestlers who are doing it.
Yeah.
And like they genuinely look like they're having fun, and
Mhm.
it's just because it's something different. It's new. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And you can do a reveal
Yeah.
and have it be this guy, but he's got all this popularity now because he did this gimmick, and you can really run with it.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
and take it serious. You know what I mean?
And I hope it is one of those situations where they're all enjoying it, because sometimes you'll get, 10 years down the line, one of them may go, I just thought that was a crappy gimmick and crap all over. I hope that's not the case here, because a lot of people will view it as this is a crappy feud. And a lot of times I would agree, but I think the way they're doing it is very entertaining. And if
it's really over in the AAA scene too.
Yeah.
Like he has garnered a hell of a following in the AAA series as a fucking luchador. So like it may be a genuine thing where one of them gets unmasked. Let's just say the original gets unmasked, and the other one, still has a prominent role in AAA.
Yeah,
and
absolutely. And if Dominic Mysterio isn't completely healthy yet, I know he come back this week to kind of congratulate Liv Morgan, but if he's not 100% healthy yet, maybe, one of these guys, maybe goes for the AAA championship or something. We'll have to wait and see how that ends up playing out. But yeah, Mike said, you ever notice, especially in the past, that the heels seem to have the most fun with stuff? Yeah. I mean, if you're because you get to play that side of you that you usually can't play in real life. I would love to do that.
It's because you're not beholden to the whole eat your vitamins and say your prayers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
doing the right thing in the ring,
Yeah, it is way more fun to be a heel than a baby face, but it is even more fun when you can be such a big heel, like Stone Cold, like a Roman Reigns, MJF, where you can just be you. You don't have even when you're being the baby face, you can still be you. So you know what I mean? Like you have way more flexibility that way. Being a good guy all the time is trash. I'm not cut out for
it. Mike said, watch The Land of 1,000 Dances from 1985. The heels look like they were having the time of their lives compared to the faces. I believe it. Because like I said, it's just more fun to treat the fans like they're dirt. Just because, of course, the fans knowing it's all in good fun too. It's not like you're actually treating people to at least the smart fans should know it's a show. But anyway, I fully get it. I would totally want to do that too. So it would be more fun part to play if you were asking me, for sure. Speaking of heels, though, according to Brandon, he's never changed. Roman Reigns is your men's 2026 Royal Rumble winner, and he has now. It did not take him long to already declare who he is going to face at WrestleMania 42. And of course, here he is doing the proverbial point to the sign, which, side note too, Liv Morgan was so emotional about winning the Women's Rumble that she forgot to point to they had to tell her to point. So I don't think it necessarily has to be a thing you should have to do, but whatever. I get it. It's kind of the obligatory thing to do now. But either way, on Monday Night Raw, well, before we get to that, Roman Reigns, now that he won the Royal Rumble, will now be the first wrestler in history to main event 10 different WrestleManias, surpassing even the likes of Hulk Hogan, who used to be at every WrestleMania back in the day. So, so Roman Reigns has solidified his legacy even further by going on to WrestleMania to main event once again. And on Monday Night Raw, he went face to face with CM Punk, and they had a promo battle for the ages here. Punk led into him, Roman led into him right back, and with vitriol said, I could have picked about anybody on the roster. I could have picked you because, you're the biggest name or because you're on a better show, but no, I picked you because I hate you. I've always hated you. And at WrestleMania, you will acknowledge me, which was great. So again, and I know I already know who Miranda wants to win. Yeah,
I don't know though, because I come across a video of him and Seth, and I.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Yeah. It was the ride along. It was when they were doing the
when they're singing. Or no, I love you. I will buy you dinner. That one.
No, they were singing.
Oh,
They were
singing. I see
singing.
both. Yeah. Yeah. The one where like they're acting like they're mad at each other, but they're like, I love you, bro. I would do anything for you. And then Roman's like, I'm going to take you out to dinner and I'm buying. Like it's hilarious. So if you ever see that, great stuff for sure. So yeah, but this is going to be, I think, one of the best Mania matches you could probably put together right now. A lot of people thought maybe Roman was going to be when the SmackDown scene, but I think this makes a lot more sense when you really look back at all the stuff that Roman Reigns was talking about, how Punk kind of dogged him on the podcast when he left, when he kind of, when Roman kind of stuck his arm out to keep CM Punk from going to the War Games match. All this stuff is now boiled to a point where it's going to boil over. Yeah.
I told this to Miranda. I told this to because I showed this promo to Shaitan and Aaron at work, like we're on a break or whatever, and I go, you don't understand, like there's real. There at one point in time there was a real dislike, a real hatred for each other, and whether that's all squashed now, it looks like it is. Like it truly does. They move past it, whatever.
I haven't.
But it's the same when Punk came back. That whole thing with Rollins, that was real. It was pulled from a real place. Let me put it that way.
It's like Edge and Matt Hardy when they were real life beefing, but they made it work for business. That sort of thing. Yeah.
So when Roman says, even Punk, when Punk emphasizes certain things, when Punk gets real kind of what's the word, passive aggressive about an insult, like the whole thing with him make Roman look good type shit, right? Which he threw in there in a subtle way where Roman knew what he was talking about. But when Roman cuts his part of the promo, when he looks at him and he says, I learned what not to do, and then he tells the story about like when he wanted to come back 2 years ago, he goes, who do you think they asked? That was real. Roman was that guy. They weren't going to bring somebody in that he wasn't going to work with. Like, let's get that out the way. And I'm sure there was a conversation that took place between him and Phil before he got signed and all this shit about what took place back when he made that comment. But that was real. He was like, about 10 years ago, he goes, because you made my life harder than it ever should have been. Yeah. And if you think about it, that's legit when everybody started shitting on Roman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this was right before the Rumble. And he
one of their favorites left the company, so they kind of took it out on Roman in some respects too. I mean, I can see that. Yeah.
So when he says that shit, when he says that I hate you, that was real. Like, look at his fucking face. Yeah. Roman has got to, and we've talked about this before. His facials, like when he's in the ring, the way he emotes sometimes, like it just seems so like it's him, but it's like it feels way natural. It's not something you could teach. It's just you. It's part of your charisma.
Yeah.
So like
you dialed up to 11.
Yeah. But his eyes, he never took his eyes off of his fucking face.
Even like when he walked past him to leave.
Yeah.
Like down.
He never took his eyes off of him. And it was like, that comes from a real fucking place.
Yeah.
And when he made that young boy comment, that was one that caught, I'm guessing it.
And that video circulating online too.
Yeah. It caught CM Punk by surprise. Like Punk didn't know
Zebro stuff.
That shit was funny. I had to look that up. I didn't know they were in Zootopia.
I saw him. I knew they were saying it around Survivor Series and all that, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know they were in the movie together where they play the Zebros.
Shoot, I didn't even know that. So I looked at what it meant. But anyway, yeah. So
they're in Zootopia together. They're a team. Okay. And they're the Zebros, and they say it all the fuck, and it's fucking hilarious.
Nice. Now I want to watch that movie just for that part alone.
Yeah,
and Mike mentioned it in the chat too. It's full circle too, because the debut of the Shield was them helping Punk in Survivor Series, and me and Mike were at that show where the Shield debuted, which I always thought was great. That we were at the show where the Shield debuted. We were at the show in the same building where the Shield broke up and Seth Rollins turned on him. Great full circle moment for us who were at both shows. So never forget that. One of my favorite moments as a fan for sure. And I'll never forget there was a dude in the crowd when Seth reared back to use the chair on Roman Reigns. The dude in the crowd goes, no, because he saw it coming. It was just hilarious. You go back and watch the video, you can hear it. It's like one dude, just like he saw it coming. It was just mortified about what was about to happen. It was great. So yeah, absolutely outstanding. So, but anyway, here's some of the potential matches at WrestleMania as it currently stands. Obviously, with Braun Breaker being taken out at number 2 in the Royal Rumble by a hooded figure, could Seth Rollins be potentially healthy enough to be back for WrestleMania and possibly be doing that match with Braun? If that's the case, great. We got the standoff in the Rumble against Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi. Take my money now. Those two guys are two big.
Oba is bigger than Brock.
I know, which is terrifying. And I would say more agile at this point in his career too.
Yeah.
So more, and of course we talked about Roman and Punk, and then of course on the SmackDown side of things with WWE Undisputed Championship, looks like Drew McIntyre could be defending against both Cody and Jacob Fatu. So again, intriguing storytelling and stuff right there. So, and of course there's stuff with the women, with the tag team and the women's championships that we mentioned a little bit earlier as well, already on the docket, maybe the El Grande Americanos, all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, this is shaping up to be a pretty good WrestleMania card if this ends up being the case.
I will say this.
Yeah.
If it is Oba and Brock Lesnar, I hope they go all out for a Conqueror style WrestleMania entrance for Oba, because like the man exudes aura from his entrance. First of all, like is the way they shoot his entrance, where he comes out behind the smoke, just bouncing. Like I told you before, he reminds me of M'Baku.
Yeah,
from the Black Panther. Like
that's the best way I know to
describe
describe
an
it.
Entrance like that.
Our buddy Nate didn't know who he was. I said, think of that big guy in Black Panther. That's who this guy is.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, okay. And I showed him a picture. He's like, yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So,
I would love to see him, like, if they could do like the White Ape, because that's what M'Baku is in the like a White Ape inspired fucking gear, and like an entrance like the one he does in the movie that like that would
yeah, that'd be great. Mike said, if the waste of money beats Oba, we riot. I don't want to say it won't happen, but I think that'd be stupid for them to beat Oba like that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to get a guy like Oba over, you have him beat Brock Lesnar, especially if Brock is retiring by Gunther at SummerSlam. Yeah, you don't have Brock go over here. I wouldn't think that they do that, but never say never. And earlier, Mike did send in another chat. Said Ric Flair doing musical chairs though is still pure gold. I don't know if I've ever seen that video.
What?
Maybe once, but I forgot. He's talking about, we were talking about Seth and Roman in the car. I guess this was something that Ric Flair was doing. He was doing musical chairs. I got to look that up. I may have seen it, but it's been so long ago I forgot about it. It's like Ric Flair and the Woo Off with Machismo at the time.
Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's. He's in AEW now. But anyway, that was one of the best things in TNA too. Hilarious. Just off the cuff, the big woo off. Well, moving on a little bit from WWE, though, I would be remiss if I did not mention the fact that say his name and he appears. Joe Hendry is your new NXT champion this week, winning the title. So congrats to him. And I'd also be remiss if I also did not say a special thank you to Big E. Big E has officially announced his retirement from pro wrestling on a podcast earlier this afternoon. He said, I am content. In wrestling, they always say never, but right now I'm retired, and that for me is it. I'm focused on other things right now. So it sounds like Big E is officially hanging up the boots, which totally understandable after breaking his neck 4 years ago, almost to the month, next month. So thank you for everything you've done for the business, man. I mean, because to go out that way, I mean, that sucks, but I'm just happy to know that you're healthy and are able to still live life to its fullest after an injury like that, because that was devastating.
Yeah. Big E played a huge part of making wrestling must see with his run with the New Day. The feud with the Usos and the New Day gave us rap battles. It gave us crazy Hell in a Cell match. It gave us fucking 10-star tag team matches on Friday nights at times but on the microphone, Big E was very entertaining. But in the ring, like, he did shit a guy his size shouldn't do.
Yeah, I agree. But it was just a simple belly to belly suplex that when he landed on top of his head, that broke his neck. And he's just lucky to be able to live life that he is and have all of his functions and all this sort of stuff. So glad to just see him get out and be smart enough to get out when the getting out is good. So in that regard, you can't say anything bad about that. And kudos to him for being smart.
Hey, we got to see him as WWE champion.
Yeah, and the first Jamaican WWE champion too, I believe they said. So
Yeah,
I didn't even know he was
so-
Jamaican though. Really, I didn't know that.
Didn't
So
either.
that's what all the stuff
Yeah,
was saying
he is
today.
and
So I
Kofi
assume,
isn't. It's crazy.
yeah, who knew, right? For sure. All right, so let's. Well, before we move to that, Mike said the musical chair segment with Ric Flair was from Raw in, I believe, 2004. Okay, we'll have to look it up.
Okay.
So I just can't. I mean, I can imagine it, but I can't. All right, so let me get through the AEW stuff kind of quick here, so we can get out of here hopefully by 11:30. That way we can get over to the other segment here, and that may not be a hard time. We'll have to see what we can do with that, but I'd like it to be if we could do it for sure. But anyway, we got on the AEW side of thing. We got Tommaso Ciampa. He is now the new TNT champion, defeating Mark Briscoe on Collision last week in his debut match in the company. Outstanding, fantastic match between the two guys. But I'm not upset by this. I think I mean, it sucks for Mark Briscoe a little bit, but he's going to be all right. I think this is good. And by the way, he's calling the new TNT championship Sylvie, which for those of you who followed his NXT career know that he called the NXT championship Goldie when he held it over there as well. So kind of continuing a little bit of that moving forward as well, getting back to that psycho killer. So thoughts on Ciampa winning the TNT championship?
I mean, it sucks for Mark, but I mean, Ciampa, like, it's not like Ciampa's not a guy you won't benefit from being a champion. So
yeah. So yeah, it'll be just fine. And Briscoe will have other title opportunities and stuff. But I still like to see him maybe go for the world title at some point. They were booking him as one of the top tier talents there for a while, the last few months. So I'd still like to see him maybe do that too. When it comes to the top contendership right now, we're still kind of sorting it out a little bit here. We had a match between Andrade, El Idolo, and Kenny Omega on Dynamite, where Swerve Strickland tried to prevent Andrade from using a screwdriver against Omega, and Andrade used the opportunity while the ref was trying to remove Swerve from ringside to low blow Kenny Omega and get the win to advance to AEW Grand Slam, where he will now face Hangman Adam Page to determine who will be the number one contender heading into the AEW World Championship match at Revolution. So one of these two guys will face the winner of MJF and Brody King in March. So interesting that they beat Swerve and they beat Kenny 2 weeks in a row. Andrade getting some big wins here, albeit with dirty tactics, but you got to do what you got to do. We'll see if he does the same against Hangman and goes to the Revolution pay-per-view. What do you think?
he should.
Yeah. I'm glad they're not just putting him off to the side. They're actually using him. And the thing I do like about what AEW is doing right now with the world title picture is you got all these guys vying for it, but it's all meshing together pretty well to where because of the actions of what's going on in this match affects the fuse between these other guys. And that also means that because that Swerve tried to get involved in this match, he inadvertently cost Kenny his title match, which now is going to lead to these two guys wrestling most likely at probably Revolution as well. So this could be a great match to watch too, and one that I don't recall seeing anytime recently. So this could be fun. What do you think about these two guys wrestling?
Yeah,
especially with Kenny back in form.
Yeah.
So
like, but I think I just don't know. I mean, neither one. It doesn't matter who wins or loses this one. Never mind. My statement doesn't matter. This is just to be a hell of a match. Like it really will be.
And it could determine like future contenders and stuff like that as well. But
sure, but I mean, as far as their prospects go, it changes nothing.
No, either guy could take the loss. Not a problem whatsoever. So sure. Yeah. But anyway, we got a bunch of other matches that were announced for Australia. Konosuke Takeshita got a win in tag team competition against the Death Riders this week, pinning, I believe it was Daniel Garcia. But now he's going to get a championship match against Jon Moxley. And remember, Konosuke Takeshita beat Jon Moxley in the Continental Classic tournament. So he's not technically lost to Jon Moxley with this title in regards to it. So he's going to get a shot to get it back, or actually get it. I don't know, Okada had it before. So, and that's, of course, going to rub Okada the wrong way, which could, again, lead to this boiling over even further. So, yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. You think this has got potential, too? Next weekend on Valentine's Day, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. I mean, I like both of them. But I do think your bigger story right now is this thing with Takeshita and Okada. So,
which may play a part in this, too, as a matter of fact.
Him beating him is like one of those things that just rubs in Okada's face that I beat him, but you can't. I've done what you couldn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to be a great. I think they got some good matches for the Australia show next week, which I'm sure they're trying to make a big deal out of. Including, we're going to get the World Championship match between Brody King and MJF. Brody King this week was in an eliminator match against MJF. If he were to win the match, he gets a world title match against the champion. And Brody defeated MJF in less than a minute. Hangman Adam Page distracted MJF out on the stage when the match started, and Brody choked MJF MJF out and hit 2 moves and pin the world champion in record time here. So MJF will now officially defend the title against Brody next week in Australia. They put Brody over real big here with the, real fast finish, and they didn't give away the title match for free on television, which I thought was a big plus. So, and I know you've kind of had your concerns about what they're going to do with Brody King. Obviously, MJF will probably beat him at Australia. I imagine that being the case, but at least I think the match in full will be a fun one. And then I'm glad they didn't give it away. So thoughts on where this is going? You think it's going to be MJF probably against the winner of the number 1 contender match?
Yeah.
I guess?
Yeah. That's.
Is there a possibility at the end of Revolution, MJF or Andrade or Hangman has the title and out comes AJ Styles? Potentially.
Maybe.
It's a possibility. I think they wouldn't do it before that. That way you end your next pay-per-view with the big reveal if that were the case. But either way, but yeah, it might be kind of telling, like say Andrade wins, maybe that means Brody does win here. Is there a world where Brody becomes world champion, at least for a short time, against MJF? I don't know.
Sure, but
I'm speaking hypothetically here. I don't necessarily.
Yeah, because I don't understand the reason behind it, other than to what though? Because he's going to lose it again. Your bigger money would be in MJF versus Andrade.
If you're going to have MJF or the title go to one of those other guys, let MJF win. But if Brody wins, you got to give him a run. You can't just. You know what I mean? You can't be like, okay, a month in, you're going to drop it to Hangman or whoever at the next pay-per-view. Can't do that.
And then you then have to let him destroy those top baby faces because there's no way. Yeah. I mean, in quick fashion, because
he's a baby face basically now.
But he shows why he skipped the line.
Yeah. Well, I think he did earn the shot, by the.
I mean, by him.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? But because MJF is the one who said it. He's the one who said he hasn't beat anybody relevant or any top slate. So then you have him, if this is all hypothetical, obviously, because there's no way that I honestly believe that Brody King beats MJF. But if you do that, he then has to stomp everybody. That way there's no question as to why.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
I
then
agree with that.
If he loses after that, he loses after that. But you got to stack the deck against him.
This will at least definitely be a longer match, a little bit more competitive to where, I mean, MJF, you could argue, was distracted, which I always hate the distracted finishes anyway. I just think in this case,
it's weird because MJF is one of those smart.
I know. Yeah.
So he should have never fell for that. Why does he care that Hangman coming out?
At least in this case, I think it made sense just to not give the match away for free, which I always appreciate when you're going to do the same match again after an eliminator type situation. So I was at least excited about that part of it for sure. So, but anyway, that'll do it for pro wrestling tonight. You got any other thoughts on that?
No. Oh my God.
Quick. Smooth and easy. I know we're kind of moving through this kind of quickly here, but we're trying this thing too, where we're trying to get out of here by 11:30 so we can get into the other portion of the show too. Like I said, I'm hoping we could do that every week. Do you think it's possible we could do that every week on time?
Yeah, I've seen them do it.
I think so. I mean, once we get Matt and everybody back all together too, it might not go as quickly, but I'm just going to have to be better about the amount of podcast topics and stuff I put into. I think that's partially on me too. So I'm working on it. We're trying to keep the show moving. So. All right, so let's get into the world of movies here real quick. I got some movie news, but really don't have anything major. We're just going to jump right into the rapid fire. If you guys are cool with that, so here we go. Yeah, it was just kind of a slow week when it comes to movie news and stuff like that. But there was some stuff, obviously, as there always is. So one thing I was going to go into completely, but since there was a lot of Michael Jackson music in the trailer, really kind of hard to do that, get copyrighted to hell. But there was a new Michael trailer this week, the full trailer for the upcoming film starring Jafar Jackson about the icon, the pop star there, Michael Jackson. So if you want to go check that out, but here's the new poster. I know Brandon thought he might be interested in this movie. What are your thoughts? You guys want to look into this at all? I know he's a big.
I still want to see it. I would still love to see it.
I think it's what is it? March, I believe. It doesn't say a date on there, but somewhere in there. So yeah, it's coming up right around the corner. So definitely go check that out. We do have news on the DC front. DCU Clayface, the film that's supposed to be coming out this year, September 11th, 2026, has been delayed, but not a big delay. It's been delayed to October 23rd of this year, so about 6 weeks. But this actually makes sense in my opinion because this puts it right at Halloween. I mean, Clayface at Halloween. Duh. Should have been that way to begin with, you ask me. So, and October is a bit better for the movies instead of September. September's a bit of a slow month with the return of NFL and all that sort of stuff. So, definitely looking forward to that. Also in DC, we found out that it's been confirmed that Isabella Merced will officially return as Hawk Girl in Man of Tomorrow, the Superman sequel. So good to see Hawk Girl returning. I think it was kind of expected, but we'll be getting the OG crew back from the first film. So that's great. This one I wanted to get Brandon's opinion on, and maybe even Aaron if he was here. Apparently HBO is working on a Baldur's Gate TV series. It's officially in the works. They say that the show will be run by showrunner who ran the show of The Last of Us, which doesn't give it high marks in my opinion, because that show kind of went off on a woke agenda. But the show will be a continuation of the video game set after the events of Baldur's Gate 3. So the reason why I wanted to ask you this is, if this is a new series, is it wise to pick up the story after a third edition of the video game, or should this be like a complete start from the jump so people know what the hell this series is about? You know,
you'll get to know what the whole thing is about, because it may say Baldur's Gate 3, but it kind of plays through a lot of what you did in 1 and 2. So like, it's not like it's a big catch-up sequence. You'll get the gist of it.
Okay, well, that's good to hear, at least, because when I saw that, I was like, pick it up after the third game. That's an odd spot in the story, but there's always also YouTube, like, cutscene movies. You can go back and revisit the old video games if you wanted to before the series come out. But yeah, that's coming down the pipe and should be hitting HBO sooner rather than later. Oh, well, depending on how the Netflix merger does too. It may end up on Netflix for all we know. We also got the new look at Nicholas Galitzin's He-Man from the Masters of the Universe here, holding the iconic sword. And of course, that's very reminiscent of the 1980s cartoon series. So again, just kind of decent marketing there, kind of, you know, foreshadowing what's to come with that series as well. So good to see there. Definitely on point when it comes to costume design and all that. With all the shakeups and leadership at Lucasfilm, Disney is now officially announced their new CEO, replacing Bob Iger, and it will be none other than Josh D'Amaro. And Dana Walden will become the president and chief creative officer of the company as well. So they'll be the ones heading up Disney moving forward. And of course, that brought all sorts of speculation about what could be the future of Kevin Feige over there at Marvel Studios, the president there. And of course, they've now officially stated that Kevin Feige has no expectation to step down as the president of Marvel Studios anytime soon. Feige, as a matter of fact, is currently focused on releasing Avengers Doomsday, as well as relaunching the X-Men franchise following Secret Wars and stuff like that. So he seems to be in place for the long-term future. And speaking of Avengers and Doomsday and Secret Wars, apparently it's now been kind of making the rounds that Halle Berry has officially, I guess, quote unquote, confirmed that she will not be in Avengers Doomsday. She said, quote, "Yeah, I would love to, but no, I'm not. However, do we buy this completely?" She says, "Well, I'm sad I won't be in Doomsday this round. There are other rounds, and I would do that in a heartbeat." So even if she's not in Doomsday, she could potentially be in Secret Wars, as Chris Hemsworth, who portrays Thor, has also been on record as saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to make sure Halle's in the next one because he wants Thor and Storm to team up." So that makes a lot of sense. Lightning and thunder and all this sort of stuff. So do we think she's in Doomsday and they're playing coy? Or is this true and she's just waiting for Secret Wars potentially?
I mean, I don't know.
It's hard to tell. I'm not going to tell you. You know,
point, like they're playing everything so close to I think it's hard to tell. I think we won't know, and that's the beauty of it until we fucking see the movie, and that's how you get people to go see the movie.
And I know Famke Johnson is also, I think that's how you say her name, who played Jean Grey in the original X-Men films, also stated she's not in it. But to me, it's like, if you're going to get the OG X-Men together, you've got to get all the OG actors and actresses as well. You can't do half of them and not the others. So they've got to be in Secret Wars. I mean, I think you have to. Otherwise, you're going to have fans just going nuts. Like me, I'll be so disappointed if they do it that way. But I have no doubt. I think they're all coming back, like I've always stated so far into this thing. But speaking of Secret Wars, the rumor mill is heating up even further, as we are now getting, according to multiple sources now, not just your random scooper.fart website or whatever it might be. Nothing like that. This is coming from multiple resources now, that Marvel Studios is now officially considering splitting Avengers Secret Wars into 2 parts. So that means we'll be getting a trilogy of Avengers films moving forward if this rumor pans out. So it seems like if they're moving into production on Secret Wars starting this year, they're already making moves and changes. This sounds like it could be legit. So if that's the case, I don't know about you, but 3 Avengers movies in like the course of 3 years, I'm down.
Yeah.
Completely
Yeah.
down as long as they're well told. Well told. I'm very happy about this. So we'll see if it ends up happening. And last but not least, in the world of movie news this weekend, or this week, I should say, a new Pirates of the Caribbean reboot is reportedly in development at Disney under the new leadership there. And it is reportedly going to be focusing on the son of Johnny Depp's Jack Sparrow. So that's where my contention with this film is going to become. Like, do we want to have a film solely focused on the son of Jack Sparrow? I think it could work if you have all the OG cast in there as well, like you teased at the end of the last movie, because they already introduced Barbossa's daughter. They introduced Will and Elizabeth's son. And then now if you introduce Jack Sparrow's son on top of it, you can then set up the franchise moving forward, even if the OG cast don't return in the future. But I think in order to make that work, you got to have the OG come back at least one more time. That's the way I'm looking at it. But apparently the reboot is reportedly in the works. And Margot Robbie, who played Harley Quinn, who has previously been attached to star in Pirates Reboot's project, could potentially be involved in this as well. So I'm curious about that part of it. And apparently the franchise is considered a top priority for Disney's new leadership. So I don't know if you guys are a big fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean or not. I think there's some of the more fun movies out there, especially in Johnny Depp's filmography. Do you guys have any interest in this? And if so, what do you think about the son being possibly the focal point moving forward of Jack Sparrow?
I haven't seen a Pirates movie in I couldn't tell you how long.
The first three are the best
ones. Like, I didn't know they had introduced kids.
They didn't really start doing that till about the fourth one, and the fifth one they really leaned to it a bit, and then of course this would be the sixth in the franchise. So yeah, if you've only seen the original trilogy, you would have no clue they had kids for sure. Obviously, Will and Elizabeth got together at the end of the third film finally, and of course that they kind of moved on from there. But yeah, Barbossa, Jack. They explained Barbossa's daughter, and now they get into Jack's son. Which again, I get it because you're looking at this from a future standpoint. If you're the studio, but from a fan standpoint, we want to see Johnny Depp. We want to see Orlando Bloom. All these OG characters come back because that's what you teased at the end of the last one. So I think if they do that, it could work. But if not, they try to skip all that and just jump straight to Jack Sparrow's son. I don't think fans are going to really enjoy this. So if it depends on what their plan is. What's the wait and see approach, if you ask me? So, yeah, I highly recommend them, though. I think they're a lot of fun. So, you got to check them out. Anything else you want to talk about movies? Anything else maybe crossed your mind?
Other than the Michael Jackson movie, and I know Miranda still wants to go see Melania.
Yeah, we need to do that. Which, by the way, I thought it was interesting. Melania, like on Rotten Tomatoes, completely destroyed by critics because they're Hollywood critics. Audiences, though, over 90%. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like typical hatred from the left, as it were. I know it's a side, but yeah, I just thought that was funny.
So I don't know the name of it. The other night I was scrolling X before I fell asleep, and apparently there is a movie, or it was AI, and I fell for it. Melania depicted as the first female president, but it's from like a while ago. So I want to look into it.
Which I don't think she can do though, because she's foreign born. But still cool to think about.
Yeah, as a movie, it would be.
I'm not gonna lie to you. There's some good AI fan movies out there, especially like in the world of Star Wars and stuff like that online right now, that are better than some of the stuff the studios are putting out. It's like in 10 to 15 years, are we even going to need actors anymore? You know what I mean? Like,
who did I say was opening up a new studio, Brandon? Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Somebody else. They're opening a no woke studio.
Yeah, and there's some Hollywood studios who, I mean, it's taken them a bit of a learning curve a little bit, I guess you could say, but they're starting to kind of go away from it a little bit too. So I think they realize that their fan base in the box office is not where it's at with it. So I'm hoping, I really am. I mean, of course, Angel Studios is doing good work over there as well, I think. So
well, they all got some egg on their face, because it's even in the Epstein files what they were trying to do. Like, there's emails talking about their agenda. Like,
and I'm sure we'll get into that on the Rumble exclusive here in just about a half hour's time. So look forward to that, guys. We got a lot of stuff coming up here in the next hour or so. So yeah, stay with us. Yeah.
The only other movie that I think I really want to see, honestly, is the new Scream.
Yeah, it's coming out real soon, like this month, is it not?
Valentine's Day, isn't it?
February 27th. So
Oh,
a couple weeks, about 3 weeks from now. But yeah, either way, yeah, that does look good to me too. I need to go back and watch I've not seen like 5 and 6 yet. I got to go back and check those out. But hey, if you guys want to go, just let me know. We'll
I do. Like I want to go see. I do want to see the Michael Jackson movie. Yes, I am a huge.
I like his music, obviously. So obviously, speculation about what he did or whatever with Neverland or whatever. That's the thing I am kind of curious to see if the movie will touch on it, because it's one of those things like if you don't touch on it, you're going to make people mad. If you do touch on it, you're going to make people mad. So what do you do?
I mean, I think you have to.
Yeah. It depends on how far in his life they want to go. If it's based solely on his career, but you got to at least probably put a little bit something in there, I guess, otherwise it wouldn't be accurate. So yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that like Mike got his hair burned, or he got burned and doing a Pepsi commercial shoot.
Kind of like Undertaker did at the show. Oof.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Speaking of this is random aside, and I know this is kind of gross. And our mutual friend Tammy at work today told me a story about some dude, I guess, committed suicide by sticking his head in a French fryer or whatever at work. Can you imagine? Have you ever you've seen those things, right?
Oh my God.
I know that sounds terrible, but it is. But I'm like, talk about a more painful way to go.
Did she know how did she know the story?
I guess it just made the news. It wasn't like anybody locally or anything like that.
Oh my God.
But it was just like, yo. And I told her, I was like, I can't imagine a worse. I mean, there's probably a lot of bad ways to go.
Being burned alive in general, but like hot oil.
Sticking your insane. I mean, I've been over those things are not hard to be around above them, let alone sticking your head in it.
Yeah.
I know, gruesome. Sorry. Maybe that's
you put the oil and it like splashed on you. You know how like it pops and
that's enough. I mean, I can't imagine sticking your head. Like, what would possess you to do that? Like, what must you be dealing with, or think you deserve it, or something like that? That when she told me that just kind of made me go. It really made me stop and think, like, what could have gone through that person's mind to say this is.
That's why I'm afraid to go anywhere. Like, I don't want to see that shit.
Well, like she said, who's to say that they wouldn't go crazy enough and stick somebody else's head in it?
Yeah.
Like, crazy. And I think it was at an Olive Garden. So customers probably didn't see it, but you know they heard it. Like,
okay, now listen, think back to what I told or what I sent the other day about the keto diet being able to cure schizophrenia.
Right.
If food can cure you, food could make you sick.
Yeah, absolutely it can.
So if they're making people sick on purpose with the processed chemical-ridden food.
I've been saying it. Get you sick, go to the hospital, buy drugs, send you back out, get sick again. It's a circle.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's a drug ring, basically. I know it's a little bit off topic, but yeah. I mean,
anyway, that's fucking insane. Regardless,
I know. Sorry, I don't know why that came up in my head there. We were talking about because of Michael Jackson. Yeah, and Mike said, Eric, how could you not know about the Michael Jackson Pepsi commercial? I just don't recall it. I mean,
it was a big thing. Mike was a huge star back then too.
Like, I knew that, but I don't remember the accident is the thing. Yeah,
it was like, I don't know. I think it went off accidentally or some shit like that. I can't really remember. But I learned about that when I was a kid. Still, I've said this before. One of my favorite Michael Jackson movies / I guess music videos is Moonwalker, and it was literally in there. He turns into a spaceship. It was dope. Okay, and that's where he shot the video for Smooth Criminal. Is from that movie. And Smooth Criminal was one of my favorite Michael Jackson songs. Also,
Thriller, that video, like,
remember the time with Eddie Murphy and where he's in Egypt. The song he did in the old claymation, Speed, is it Speed Devil or Speedin'? I think it's called Speedin'.
What about They Don't Care About Us?
Yeah, Black or White. Hell, Man in the Mirror. That music video.
I even like Scream with his sister Janet Jackson. I thought that was a good pairing for that song.
He was the first one to do like the music videos that were like movies.
Yeah, and it probably. I'm sure there was music videos before him, but it probably took music videos to a whole nother level. I'll say that. That's my assumption. I mean, I know
like the one Ghost he did. It was a whole Halloween special, but it's a music video.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think the legacy he left behind, good, and I'm sure in some people's mind bad as well. But I try to remember the good in folks. That's just kind of the way I am. Like it's like the Cole Chris Benoit thing. Terrible thing he did, and don't condone it. Don't justify it or nothing. But him as a professional wrestler, his career is one of the best ever. In ring, all that sort of stuff. So I know it's a little different situation, but it's just kind of like, or let's just say Hulk Hogan too. Everybody wants to get on to about some of the stuff he might have said. But again, his contributions to the business, you can't deny, or even Vince McMahon. I mean, we could go on and on about Ultimate Warrior. We can go on and on, but you got to give him credit where it's due when it comes to what they did for the company they work for and all that sort of stuff. So, but yeah, we'll leave it.
Mike was more of a culture thing. Mike was more of a world thing. He had impact around the fucking world. Like it wasn't like not only would he sell out an arena here, but he could go somewhere where English isn't their native language and sell out an arena.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, because Mike, all he had to do was stand there. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all he had to do. And people would just fawn all over him, which is crazy work for sure. But yeah, a lot of memories for sure. All right, let's get into the sports section here, and we'll get into the Rumble exclusive. But let's do sports first. Here we go. All right, obviously a big weekend in the world of sports. But before we get to the big game, obviously we had a few news items to hit in the world of the NFL. The coaching vacancies are officially pretty much now filled, with one still kind of in the balance, but it's going to get done this next week. But the Cardinals have officially found their new head coach, hiring Rams offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur as their next head coach. Of course, Mike LaFleur is the Green Bay Packer head coach Matt LaFleur's brother. So again, two coaching brothers, much like the Harbaughs, are in the league again. They're both in the NFC as well. So do you know anything about Mike LaFleur? Do you think this is a good hire by the Cardinals? Can't be getting it worse than what they ever had.
Yeah, that's true.
I look at it. But yeah.
You can only go up, I guess.
That's for sure. But yeah, so yeah, good to see there. At least the vacancy has been filled, no doubt about that. The other vacancy that was left is, of course, the Las Vegas Raiders, and they are currently targeting Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak as their next head coach. But they can't officially hire Kubiak until after the Super Bowl this weekend. But they do believe that this is their next head coach, and if that is the case, Clint Kubiak will probably most likely have the number 1 overall pick with chance to select Heisman Mendoza, the winner of the Heisman Trophy, Fernando Mendoza. He also had the offensive weapons, including Ashton Jeanty and Brock Bowers. They're projected to have $90 million in salary cap, which I believe is the most in the league, plus Tom Brady as part owner. So could be worse situations to get involved with if you're Clint Kubiak. So interesting. Think about that. What do you think about the Raiders, the potential moves they're making?
Again,
see,
it's one of these though, like this. Kind of like where we are in the wrestling landscape of things, where the old guys are being cycled out, and now you're getting this younger generation of guys where it's more competitive. Teams that weren't teams the year before but had something going on now get better, and so now we're going to end up in a situation like with this year where we're having a Super Bowl with two teams that we have not seen in the Super Bowl since there had dominant guys in those positions before.
Mm-hmm.
So like it makes football more entertaining and more, I don't know the right word, but like compelling to watch, because it's like certain teams are getting elevated now. And it's like you haven't seen these teams in years. Like the Denver Broncos this year. Hell, the Patriots this year.
Yeah.
So the Raiders could be, he has pieces. They have pieces in there. They just were missing a few things. And if he can do it and Mendoza can do it, it should be for some good fucking football.
I agree with that. And I've always said I want to see that division with Mendoza Patrick Mahomes, Bo Nix probably coming back from an injury as well, Mahomes too, and then of course Justin Herbert. That could be one hell of a division just at the quarterback position alone, let alone the head coaches that are in that division too, from the looks of things moving forward. So yeah, interesting to say the least. So that could be the best division in football next year potentially. So we'll have to see how it ends up playing out. But yeah, good to see there. Also in the world of the NFL, some other news. We got officially now 9 international games announced for 2026, which is a lot. I mean, they're definitely expanding this. We're eventually probably going to have one a week, one of these days. But we got 3 games in London, a Madrid, Spain game, Melbourne, Australia, Mexico City, Mexico, Munich, Germany, Paris, France has been added this year, as well as Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, along with Melbourne, Australia as the new locations. And we know a couple of the games already. Obviously, we don't know the dates and times yet, but the Los Angeles Rams will play the 49ers in Melbourne, Australia next season to be the first game ever in Australia. So that'll be kind of interesting to see, as well as the Dallas Cowboys will play the first NFL game in Rio de Janeiro. So
why not?
Yeah,
why not? Why fucking not? Because like it wasn't like they had. Why the fuck did they get a good? Like the Cowboys was absolute ass. The only reason.
Sorry, Dave.
And Flora.
And Flora, yeah. For
listen. The only reason they are getting this spot is because they are the fucking Dallas Cowboys.
Well, say what you want. They feel like there's market value. You know what I mean? Like, so, and like I've always said, I
hope they fucking lose. I hope they play New Orleans and New Orleans dog walks the shit out of them.
Well, they haven't named their opponent just yet, but hey, who knows? You know, getting it. You know, they have one of the better offenses sometimes, and sometimes the defense to go along with it. And with Micah Parsons and all that, we don't want to open up that old wound. But yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe. But yeah, I'm sorry, Nate. I really, I was trying to work with him on that, but you know, it didn't work too well. But anyhow, we also had the NFL honors this last week for the Super Bowl week. Obviously, the 2005 season winners were announced with MVP Matthew Stafford. Do you agree with that choice out of all the candidates? Matthew Stafford as the league MVP. I mean, I think he was a vital part of the Rams going as far as they did, but for the whole league,
I don't know. Sam Darnold seems like he should have got that this year.
He was the Super Bowl. Yeah, you could argue that, or at least Jackson Smith and Jigba, who did win the Offensive Player of the Year, though. So there's that.
Yeah, but I guess you think about it, Sam Darnold. I guess his QB rating all year was phenomenal. So like. I'm guessing if you're going to go off of that, and he did get further than the guy who was in the lead, you know, so sure.
Yeah. I mean, Defensive Player of the Year, Myles Garrett, that obviously makes a lot of sense. Win the sack title. I get it. Tetaroa McMillan, Offensive Rookie of the Year. No Tyler Warren there, but he's going. I think he did make the Pro Bowl though, so I'm not too upset. But the Panthers did have a hell of a season though, and they made the playoffs. So I guess you can make an argument there. Carson Schweizinger, the Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Cleveland Browns. So yeah, good pick there. Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel. I think that's obvious. I mean, he's made the Super Bowl. Was this just his second season or no? Second or first season? One of the two. Anyway, it's not been too long. Might be second season. I think
it's second season.
I want to say, well, it could be off. But comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, stayed healthy all the year too, which is
he's the only one.
Who knew? We all was worried about him getting hurt, and he's the only one who stayed healthy. Bobby Wagner, Walter Payton Man of the Year, and an award I've never even heard of, but maybe this is new, maybe it's not. The Protector of the Year for an offensive lineman, Joe Thuney. So that's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, that's good to see there for getting the offensive lineman getting some recognition. And to be honest, they deserve it. Let's do a defensive lineman too, like Defender of the Year. I don't know. That's more like Defensive Player of the Year, but yeah, it's I don't know what you do there with the defensive line, but anyway, good to see, good for all those players for sure. But yeah, the Matthew Stafford was just kind of like, don't be wrong, great player, and I know he announced he's going to return next year with his 4 little girls on stage, even after he won the trophy. But yeah, but I don't know, I was just sitting there thinking maybe there could have been somebody else I would maybe do, but I get it, you know, all things considered, no problems with that. So yeah, and Mike said a couple chats there. He said, "Damn, still no 2-time Rookie of the Year winners, huh?" Yeah, I know. He's still gonna let that one. Can't go let that one go on me for sure. But yeah, made a faux pas there, and I definitely deserve it. Mike said he did send the videos of the Michael Jackson accident and also the musical chair segment with Ric Flair to our private chat in the Dragon's Den chat. So let's go up to check those out later. At least I won't have to worry about searching for it now. That's for sure. And he also, there was a chat he mixed a while ago. I don't know how it'll play now, but he said BYU in college sports, the Atlantic Coast Conference is in I guess he says is very AEW, as I saw both Cal and Stanford, both in California, are part of the conference. Do you get that one? I'm not totally sure I get it either. BYU in college sports, the Atlantic Coast Conference in very AEW, as I saw both Cal and Stanford, both in California. You may have to explain that one for us, buddy. I'm a little lost. So yeah, send us a follow up on that. Maybe we can make. Maybe AEW was not supposed to be AEW. That's my guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, let us know. Well, we'll move on as you maybe sort that out with us. But yeah, this is all fake. I was hoping to maybe troll Damon a little bit if you were here tonight.
Oh, wow.
But the New England Patriots won schedule of the year because a lot of people have criticized them for having the easiest schedule, and they made the Super Bowl. So we'll see how that plays out on Sunday against the Seahawks. But that brings us to, well, not quite the big game, but the Hall of Fame finalists. I thought we were getting to the Super Bowl yet, but not quite yet. Hall of Fame finalists for next year have officially been announced. Bill Belichick got snubbed. Robert Kraft snubbed for the first season. Eli Manning snubbed. But Drew Brees, first ballot Hall of Famer. I think everybody kind of goes, duh. That was going to be a thing. Larry Fitzgerald, also duh. Adam Vinatieri, kicker who played 20-plus years with the Patriots and the Colts. Roger Craig, also making the list here. Running back in the day. And Luke Kuechly for the Panthers, also all very deserved. A lot of people are stating, well, how did Roger Craig how is he not in the NFL Hall of Fame yet? Well, he finally gets it here after like a 30-year wait after retiring back in the 90s. So there you go with your Hall of Fame class of the 2026. Any surprises here? I'm still a little upset that Reggie Wayne didn't get it.
But
I mean, Reggie Wayne's gonna have to wait, unfortunately. I hate hope it ain't as long as Roger Craig did, but yeah, I mean, Eli will get in there eventually. Yeah, he's got more rings than Breeze, but I would still say Breeze was the better overall player. You got to say that. And Fitzgerald obviously makes a lot of sense too. So, and Adam Vinatieri probably, if there was ever a kicker that was deserving of the award, I mean, I think there's no question in anybody's mind. So good there. So as I started to say, let's get into the big game here. Super Bowl 60 is this Sunday night as well. Who you got? Patriots, Seahawks. I actually think this could be pretty close. I really do. But I'm going to take the Steelers.
The Steelers.
Me too, Eric.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe next year. You heard it. You heard it here first. Super Bowl 61, the Pittsburgh Steelers with their new head coach, Mike McCarthy. We'll have to wait and see. But no, I meant the Seahawks, the other S team. But anywho, hey, I could be wrong. But yeah, Steelers, go Steelers.
They're going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, out of nowhere, for sure. Like a run-in. Yeah.
I feel like I have to go with the Patriots.
Yeah.
That sounds weird, but
I know weird. It's almost sacrilege for me to say something.
Yeah, and like I unfortunately, I'm legit rooting for the underdog in this one, and that is the Patriots. I think Drake May.
Nothing against May, he can very well do it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like people are doubting him, and the same goes for Sam Darnold. I mean, I would love for it to be. And it very well could be his time to show everybody that, like, I wasn't as bad as y'all think I was. And because he hasn't been playing like that. But I don't know. I'm rooting for the Patriots in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rooting for the Seahawks just because I'm still a bit bitter. All those years of Patriots. I know, but I wouldn't hate it as much, even though Robert Kraft is still there. He's still one out of the three-headed horse that I wish would leave New England. But that notwithstanding, if like it's kind of like Mike said in the chat, not heard of any scandals with New England cheating, so they might play a fair game. He's hoping for the Seahawks though. So yeah, so I guess he sent me a text about the thing he sent. Well, I'll read this in a second. But yeah, so I could definitely see the Patriots winning, but I'm pulling for Seattle. But Seattle, I think one of their star corners is hurt. So, but I think they say he's going to play or at least attempt to. So that could play a factor. We'll have to see if that ends up being part of the issue here. I guess he got hurt in practice, I think, on Wednesday. But these are the uniforms both teams will be wearing. Obviously, some people were hoping for the throwback jerseys. And as Damon said last week, the New England Patriots are getting their all-white jerseys and pants even and everything. So they're going like completely white out here. So that could be interesting to see how that ends up playing out. But and I also think it's cool how they all have the USA 250 patch on there they're going to be wearing as well. So I think that's pretty cool, pretty dope. So I think it's really cool they're going to be wearing on all the uniforms. So that's really neat, along with the Super Bowl stuff as well. But before we get into all that, we'll say hi to Sierra real quick. I thought we'd say hi to her. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hate to hear about your leg. Hope everything ends up being okay there. She said you guys are good entertainment when you're bedridden, and she sent a bunch of hearts as well. So, hey, anything we could do to it. Hey, and we hope you're following us maybe on Rumble because we're about to switch over there in about 15 minutes time for our news and politics segment. And I'll probably go over that one more time before we do it here in just a second if we get through this as to why we're doing all that sort of good stuff. But Mike said in the text that he sent, I guess, about the explanation of that thing, he said the Atlantic Coast Conference has 2 West Coast teams in it, which is something AEW would do, something that makes no sense geographically. Oh, so he's talking about how like the international championship and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I get it. He also said his little one won't go to sleep, hence all the typos. So there you go. That's probably what happened there. So anyway, and Sierra said thanks. So definitely good to see you guys. And I hope you're doing well, Sierra. Let us know if you guys need anything, by the way. So I know it's kind of a rough thing to go through. So
get Matt a little bell or some shit, and then you can ring it. And then he's got to come in with a tuxedo on, with a towel over his arm. Make it real fancy.
Real fancy, for sure. Now, when it comes to the NFL with the Super Bowl, though, there's a lot of people thinking online that potentially that the game has already been rigged. It's already fixed. This video was going around of Levi Stadium, home of the game on Sunday in San Francisco, going over their pyro testing, and with the pyros, if you can tell, the fireworks are red, white, and blue, which would coincide with the New England Patriots. However, I think the more logical explanation is this may be for the America the Beautiful and stuff pregame stuff. So maybe not, but people were saying the Patriots are winning based on the testing. So
well, I would hope they would have both colors to test with.
Yeah,
in a fair fucking world.
Right.
I mean, we know they've got trailers full of T-shirts already, like for both teams.
Yeah.
Logical thinking, guys.
And the losers will be going to some third world country, which I'm sure they won't complain. It's still a T-shirt, but anyway, I swear it's weird how they do that, isn't it? Though they gotta go somewhere, I suppose. Better than the dump. Put them to good use. So Mike says, like I said, too bad you guys can't play Lord of the Rings, so this kid will go to sleep. That may only put you to sleep, though. I don't know about the kids. I mean, it might. When I was growing up, I probably wouldn't like it for sure. But anyway, so it sounds like I'm going to Seattle. You guys are the Patriots from the sounds of things, maybe.
Yep.
Kind of where you're leaning here. Okay. Well, I know Matt's probably taking New England. I think Mike said Seattle. So I'm not sure where Aaron or David will say New England. I think obviously, but I think he even acknowledges it's not going to be.
Did you ask Chris who he thinks is going to win?
I need to text him, by the way. To let him know to bring something to your house because he's like, let me know if they want us to bring anything. So if you have anything in particular, let me know. I'll text him. So, but anyway, and Mike said somebody apparently is trying to spoil the Super Bowl script. That's the theory. But again, I just red, white, blue could be a lot of things. But yeah, it is interesting.
There is so much going like the anons.
Yeah,
and the Q drops are coinciding with the Super Bowl, something crazy.
Well, and not only that, like I mentioned, they're wearing the USA 250 patch. Could it be? It's kind of like after 9/11. Let's have the American team win on the 250th anniversary. It's just a theory, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But there'll be a lot of New England fans who would like that. But outside of the NFL and the big game this weekend, anybody got any interest in the Winter Olympics? They kicked off, I believe, last night, our time, but in Italy. So they'll be going on for the next few weeks. The Winter Games, I should say, not summer. I don't know if many of you watched that, but I thought I'd at least bring it up because that is a big thing in the world right now is the Olympics. So
I saw a female downhill skier. She tore her knee up.
Really?
She plans on competing.
Ooh, well, I mean, that's the thing. If not, you got to wait another 8 years for the winter. So, I mean, I get it. If you can, you go. Yeah. But wouldn't that suck, though? Like, you work all this time.
You train all the... Bruh!
Yeah. I mean, they literally made a movie called Cool Runnings about something similar to that. Athletic runners in the summer, but didn't want to wait 8 years. They ended up doing bobsledding in Jamaica. Great movie, by the way. John Candy. Good stuff. You've never seen
I remember seeing that.
Great movie. Based on true story, too. So, and I think the Jamaican bobsled team is in it again this year. So, yeah. So, when the sports day, just go Team USA. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way. Like, that would suck so bad. Because you're man, to get to the Olympics is a whole nother training situation. Like, you got and you just go out there and just But
I can't. I can't imagine.
Fire everybody. Like I'd be mad.
I mean, you think getting an injury like off the field in the NFL is bad? You imagine waiting 4 or 8 more years just to get back. 4 if you go to the other one, but 8 years, dude. I can't imagine, because by then, who knows what could happen? You know,
Yeah.
like I mean, yeah, you're an athlete, you might be able to come back, but 8 years is a lot of time. You know, just off the old clock. You know,
everybody. Man.
Definitely your personal trainers, I guess. I don't know.
Unsign me up. I'm done.
No, she crashed. Like it was.
Oh,
You said it was a skier? Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Was she American, or do you know?
Oh, yeah, she's American.
That was downhill skiing, like the downhill skiing. Also,
I'm sorry. You're right, Mike. I'm totally way off. You're right. Where am I getting it? You're right. It's every 2 years there's an Olympics. I'm sorry, not every 4.
The winter is every 2.
It's every 4. No, it's every 4 years for Olympic, like winter and summer. But every 2 years.
I thought the summer was every 4.
Yes. So there's a summer, like say there's a summer ones this year, and 4 years we'll have another summer. There's winter this year, so every 4 years we'll have another winter. For some reason, I was thinking it was 4-year gaps between Winter Olympics and Summer Olympics. You're right. I'm sorry. I was doubling it. Shows how much I watch the Olympics, but I knew that.
Still, fire everybody.
Yeah, still. It's still 4 years until your next. Yeah. So it's, but either way. Yeah, you're right. My math was off. It's late. I was told there'd be no math on a Friday. But anyway, either way, go Team USA. Absolutely. Hope you guys do well over there and all that sort of good stuff. So we'll get more into USA and some stuff going around in just a second. So, yeah. Mike said there are 2 years between summer and winter, so they aren't the same. Yeah, exactly. So I was just thinking 4 instead of 2. I was off. But, yeah, I knew what you meant. As soon as you said it, I was like, duh. I should have known better. But, well, if you get one thing wrong tonight, that's okay. I'm all right with that. Yeah. So, anyway, so you guys got anything else to talk about in sports?
No, that bummed me out, man.
I know. It's not as bad as it sounded originally with Mike clarifying there with us, but yeah, you're right.
Bummed me out, man.
Still, though, to wait 2 more years or 4 more years for your next opportunity.
4 more years for your next
See, now I'm all confused.
Right.
That's still a lot. That's still 4 years, though, man. Like,
yeah. Because you're going to, depending on how bad it is, like, it could be a year of you rehabbing and everything else before you can actually train, and then that's like 3 years that you got to really push yourself to get back to where you were to compete. Fuck that.
Yeah, screw that, dude. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. No doubt about it. But this is why I'm not no athlete for sure either.
Yeah, you got it.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're about ready to switch over here in a few minutes, about 11:30. Like I said at the beginning of the show, if you didn't catch it, I'm going to reiterate it one more time. Moving forward, we're changing our format a little bit here on the show, and we want to go over this every single week, so it won't be as big of a deal. Then we'll just kind of move right into it. It'll flow naturally. But at about 11:30 every week, we'd like to kind of move into our Rumble exclusive only portion of the show, which will be our news and politics segment, which we're now calling Dragon's Den After Dark. So moving forward, if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook as of right now, in a few minutes, this stream is going to end and you can catch the full show, the remainder of the podcast on Rumble or X exclusively, only on those platforms. So like I said, it won't be a big transition. You'll start to see an intermission, which will be about 3 minutes. So maybe if somebody here needs to go to the bathroom, which clearly Brandon did. So, but hopefully he'll be back within about 3 minutes time once we switch over. But we're kind of waiting at 11:30 tonight. See if Miranda's Rumble thing might work tonight. But if it doesn't, I mean, again, it might not be 11:30 every single week, so we'll have to see if that'll end up working. But we're going to give it a shot, see what happens. But either way, but like I said, for most of you, if you're watching us on Rumble or X, the show's not going to change at all. You're going to be able to see the entire show from beginning to end with a little intermission in between. If you're on YouTube and Facebook, that stream's about to end for the week, and we'll see you guys next week for episode number 81, and that's the way we're going to play this movie forward. So, did you have any thoughts on this, Miranda? Just kind of before we get into it, just kind of what your thoughts on why we're going to Rumble. I know it's just definitely more. It frees us up, to say the least, of what we can say and stuff when it comes to these more sensitive topics. And again, it's just to kind of prevent us from getting any sort of trouble down the line. And I think
we're going to talk about a lot of things that YouTube censors because it's all in the Epstein files or it's coming out from Georgia and the election fraud stuff. And if YouTube doesn't want people to know about it, that's their problem.
And we've always said about the politics segment, if you're finding this for the first time or if you're a returning viewer, if you don't agree with us politically, that's perfectly fine. We don't ask that you have to do that. But we also ask that you respect our opinions on it as well. I don't necessarily always agree with something Miranda says or Brandon says or thinks about politics, but that's perfectly fine. They're entitled to their beliefs on it. I'm entitled to my views, and we just agree to disagree and move forward. But we more often than not, I think we align.
At the same time, though, facts matter. And right. if somebody's suppressing the facts, then that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely don't want that. And again, that's part of the reason why we want to do this on Rumble too, because YouTube and Facebook suppressed the facts back during COVID and things like that, so it's kind of one of those things we just kind of want to avoid when it comes to our opinions and stuff. We want to go to a platform that will allow us to say and think what we actually do without worried about getting censored or kicked off the channels or the YouTube or whatever it might be. So that's just kind of where we're coming at it from this angle. So hope you guys will understand that. And for those of you who follow us on a regular basis, if you are, you're more, like I said, it's not a hard switch over. Just go over to Rumble. Rumble's just as free as YouTube is. It's not a big deal. You can find it on any app of choice or any Play Store, or you can find it on Roku or smart TVs, wherever you may be. So just make a profile there, sign up like you did to YouTube, and you're good to go. And if you want to find us, the description of our channel, anytime I promote it on our X accounts at the bottom of the screen, you'll also see the links to that current stream or the channel as well. So you're going to be able to find it just as easily as you would any other thing that we do here on YouTube, Facebook, or X, as it were. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to switch over, but Mike did want to say a goodbye for the evening. He said, all right, I'm bailing, looking for a way to knock this kid out. Hope all stay healthy, unlike me lately. Good night and God bless. Agreed. Hope everybody gets healthy, and hopefully Sierra ends up doing a lot better as well. And we're thinking about it, and we're praying for it, no doubt about it. So we got a couple minutes here. Brandon, just so you know, there will be a 3-minute intermission. So if you have to go to you can't even hear me. What am I thinking? Can you hear me now? I just want to let you know that in a minute you're going to see a 3-minute intermission. This is our first time doing it. So every week there'll be about 3 minutes in between where this stops and the Rumble stream. It'll still be going on, but when we come back to do our intro for that and to lead into the next segment. So if you have to go to the bathroom, you got 3 fast minutes to go.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm about to go now.
Okay, that's fine. In about a couple minutes, we're trying to just time this just right tonight. But like I said, moving forward, we'll see how it goes. And it may just be more of when we're ready to go into it. Because like I said, from my side of it, it's as long as we're streaming it on Rumble the entire time, it's not going to really matter. It'll just continue to go on Rumble, so we can do it anytime we want to. But since Miranda said she was trying something right at 11:30, we might do that there. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll play that by ear, see how it happens. But anyway, so if you're on Rumble or on YouTube or Facebook, just let you guys know we will have a podcast next week. Episode number 81 will be on the show on Friday night. So you can come back to see us here on YouTube, just as you always do. And this is also kind of nice too. So some people who don't like politics or news or anything more controversial and stuff like that, you don't have to watch it. You could just watch the fun stuff like we just covered. And I think that's great too. It gives you that option. But if you want to engage with us on that other stuff, you can watch us on Rumble and stuff too. And this is something that conservative channels do a lot when it comes to streaming stuff. So this is not out of the ordinary. This is a strategy that many of those people have done as well. So I think this will be a good thing. All right. So with about a minute or so to go here, I think it'll pick up a Miranda stream just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over. So YouTube, it's been fun. See you guys next week. Take care and God bless. And for everybody else sticking around, we'll see you guys in about 4 minutes or so. So here you go.